Before we continue, I wanted to thank our sponsors for making this meeting possible. And they are Muhammad Aliv to knock your pain out cold. You got Bread Pit, the hottest buns around, and Channing Tatum Tots. They'll really step up your meal. So thank you to them for making this possible. Another disclaimer, COVID has really impacted a lot of different things, right? One of those is actually the space-time continuum, which people are not actually aware of. And so my future self, or myself, has taken upon himself to kind of bomb my webinars. So if you see myself or himself in the background, don't be worried. He's just gonna do his own thing and we'll keep doing ours. So why this webinar? I started my business, Brunson Creative Media, about 4 weeks ago. And I was trying to think of a way to kind of add value to other people while kind of getting my name out there. And so I thought, why not do a free webinar / tutorial? And so that's why we are here. So I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna jump right into Spark. So if you guys load up your web page, this is the homepage of Spark. So up here, you're gonna see different formatting options, right? You got Instagram story, Instagram post, and so on. Down here, you can start with a template, or you can go back to like a recent project. Top left, there is that little plus button. You can click that and it creates a drop-down menu that is similar to the one that I just showed you here, except there is create a web page. So you can create a landing page or a video as well. That's one of the neat features that a lot of people didn't know of when it comes to Adobe Spark, is the web page and the video. And then you can create a branded graphic, which is kind of like dropping in your logo, and you can use the color scheme from your logo to add in those colors to your graphic. What we're going to be starting today is at custom size graphic, and you can get there two ways: that green gear, or with that fun little plus sign and custom size graphic at the bottom. So you can click either of those, and then select a size will pop up. Now for LinkedIn is kind of picky about what algorithm they use, right, for their graphics, which ones appear the most on their feeds. And so I wanted to make sure that you guys know which sizes to use. So if you have a pen and paper ready, I can give you these really quick. For your profile image, you're going to be using 400 by 400. So the width and height, 400 by 400, or larger. Just make it square. For a landscape graphic, these are the ones that are kind of attached to blog posts or articles. You're going to use 1200 by 627. And then for like a portrait graphic, which is great for memes or flyers that have to be vertical, just flip that ratio around. It's 627 by 1200. And then for LinkedIn stories, it's pretty much the same thing, right? 1080 by 1920 is the ratio there. So that's 1080 by 1920. And then the profile banner or your cover photo, it's 1584 by 396. Okay, and then if you have a company page, use that same profile ratio for like your profile image for your company, the 400 by 400 or larger. But the banner is actually a different size. It's 1128 by 191. And so a lot of people run into, oh, there I am, looking at the art in the room. A lot of people run into issues because they think that they just need to use the same size graphic. And I've seen some banners that they're not right. And it's because their ratios are off. So just make sure you get those right. But for today, we're gonna go in our width and we're gonna type in 1200 and our height is gonna be 627. Looks like Adrian is rounding up the kids there. Give him a second here. So I'll just keep going. I'll catch him up if we need to. You'll arrive here after your page loads to your canvas. And I like to kind of zoom out because when you click into like text or colors, if you have it zoomed in, part of your graphic will be cut off. So just zoom out a little bit. And you can do that at the bottom with these magnifying glasses. All right, so I'm just gonna break down these different menus really quick. Templates. This is just pre-done templates that you can switch out any of the icons and images in there with your own. Anything with a gold shield shaped icon is considered premium. So you gotta pay to play with those. Text, different text formatting options. Again, a lot of them are premium, but some of them are pretty good. Like this one's pretty slick template, it's free. Photos, you can either upload your own or you can find free photos and you can connect to Dropbox, Google Photos, etc. Icons, there are thousands of different icons. If I just throw out a random one, ice cream, right? Oops. You get tons of ice cream icons. So this is really great. These are all, actually not all, most of them are for Creative Commons, so you can use them for free, no attribution required. It's really great. Design assets. These are basically icons that are given more shape or they just look more realistic. These are great for different formatting options. We're gonna use one later on and I'll show you how we do that. Again, the whole premium thing. Backgrounds, got gradients, textures, stuff to match up with the seasons. And then you can add in your logo, which basically stamps your logo into your graphic and you can move it around. Libraries, you can kind of create your own templates for when you open up your document. Colors over to the right. You can choose the colors of your document. And then this is where you'll go to, if I put in just a random icon, you'll go here and select the color, okay? So animations, you can make text move, images fade in, fade out. The background, you can add in a border or you can create grids. We're gonna be using some grids here in a second. Grids create cells for different images and content. And then if you don't like the size of this, you need something different, hit resize, and you can just select, there's tons of options there. And then design, if you just kind of want to start from scratch with a fresh template, you can choose variations. So that's pretty much it. Oh, the useful undo button there, which we all sometimes need to use a lot. We'll go ahead and get started. So go ahead and click into your canvas and you'll see it pops up with background and then a square where you can choose to recolor your background. It doesn't matter what color you choose right now because we are going to, I'm sorry, click out of background, click into the blank space, and then click background there. We're going to set up a grid. Is everybody tracking now? I kind of confused you guys a little bit. Do you guys see where you select grid? Yeah, okay. So we're gonna choose the first one there. It divides the canvas in half. So it creates two different cells. And I'm just gonna color this one black just so it's easier for me to say, and then this one white. So if I don't want to confuse you by saying left or right, let's just say black or white. So in the black cell, go ahead and click in there and you'll see choose image, right? So we're gonna upload a photo, but no, sorry, not upload, we're gonna find a free photo. Now, LinkedIn is a very professional network, and we want to choose something that's going to kind of convey that, right? You see those business things. We want to really match up with what LinkedIn's got going on. So we're going to type in unicorn. And we will choose a unicorn that speaks to you. So I want something that says, you know, I'm a mythical creature that's ready to slay a dragon. So that's the one that I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick this guy that's standing in front of the moon. And I'm going to add that in there. That looks freaking awesome. Okay. So now I'm going to click into the white cell and do the same thing. Have you guys picked a unicorn yet? Yeah? Okay. I'm going to choose another image. Make sure you've clicked into that cell. Choose image, find free photos, and we're going to do a horse. The point of this graphic is we're going to be comparing horses to unicorns. So I want to choose a horse that's kind of like bland. It's just, you know, whatever. It's not really standing out a whole lot because unicorns in comparison to horses are just better. And so this one has caught my eye here. It's just a very, you know, sad horse, like why the long face? Okay. But you'll notice when I try to create some space between, I click and I drag the photo, it doesn't go as far over as I would like it to go. Are you guys have that same image? So it only goes to the center. So what we can do is we can move it over to the right and image, the image menu has popped up. Go down about halfway and you'll see flip horizontal. Do you guys see that button there? We're gonna flip it horizontal. Now that creates some space between the horse and the unicorn. And we're gonna use that space to kind of type some text in there, which leads us to our next step. I'm gonna type in horses say. The text is on the left. You can do add your text. You can template it if you want. I just feel like sometimes it's easier just to start from scratch. All right. So that text looks, that font looks pretty good. I'll probably leave it at that. So if you click on the text, it brings up the text menu and the text color option there is that square. You can recolor it however you want to. And then the word or words next to that colored square is the font. And you can just go in and there's so many different fonts that you can select from here. So feel free to kind of pick your own. I'm just going with something that's a little bland. I'm gonna keep the text kind of white here. Oh, whoops, I forgot my 3 little dots. Okay, horses say what? They say nay, nay, right? So horses say nay. All right. Now, the white, it's good. It looks pretty decent. But for some creative purposes, I'm just going to add some shape to it. I want it to look a little more bland. So I'm going to use a different neutral color. I'm going to use some brown to give it some background to it. So if you click on it, on your text, and you'll see the text menu has shape, shadow, and outline. I'm just going to add in a shape by clicking there. And I'm just going to make it brown. Now there's 2 ways to select your text. You can either come down to this color drop here, and you can see how sometimes it's difficult to find brown on this. You can use the color drop tool, click it, and the brown is already there for me. Just hover over the horse's color there and select brown. I do want to change the text, the font. So I'm going to select there, and I'm just going to go to Futura, however you say that. And to resize the text, because it's a little big, it's kind of taking over the horse there, you can either go to the corner and drag it down, or you can come up here to the font size And I'll just go down a little bit so you can see the difference there. Make sense? And then if you wanted to create those fancy capital letters that you see a lot of posts have, select your text, and this little circle wheel here allows some more formatting options for your text. Capitalize and fit is one that I use a lot for my graphic design. And it just makes it bold, it's all capitalized. So if I did it again to the horses say, it just looks pretty cool. It resizes some of the words to give more emphasis on it. I don't necessarily want that for the horses say. So I'm just gonna go back to the align center. You guys tracking so far? Yeah, okay. If I'm moving too quick, just let me know. Okay, now we're moving over to the unicorn because I think my horse looks pretty good. So if horses say may, what a unicorn say, right? So I'm just gonna highlight the text, horses say. Text menu pops up. You can edit text, duplicate, change the layer order, or just delete it altogether. I'm just gonna duplicate it because I like that font. I'm gonna keep it consistent. And I'm gonna drag it down and I'm just gonna change the horses to unicorns. Oops, Unicrons, that's a Transformers reference there. Anyways, unicorns say, what do they say? Nee, right? They don't say nay, I don't think so. Whatever. But it's brown. It kind of copied the same formatting or just kind of flipped it a little bit that I had over there. Maybe it's because I did such a good job that it just wanted to keep it. I don't know. What do you guys think? We're gonna change it to make it a little more magical. So unicorns, I typically think of My Little Pony or something. It's bright colors. So let's change this font to match something that's a little more magical. So I'm gonna go down to the S's and I'm gonna choose Storybook Regular. It's a little hard to read, but that's what it says. It says Storybook Regular. We're gonna go from brown text color. I'm gonna make this pink, okay? And you see, we still got that white background on that text. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of that by unchecking the shape box. Do you guys see that? When you have the text selected, yeah. So we're gonna uncheck that, but we're gonna add an outline. And you can change that outline color to whatever you want it to be. I am going to stick with white. You can increase the thickness of the outline by dragging that little circle there to the right. But I liked it where it was just kind of allowing that pink to pop out. Oh, and my bad, I didn't put an exclamation point at the end there. Okay, so now that looks pretty good. But I kind of want this picture to be even more magical on the right because horses just aren't. We need to show that unicorns are magical. So I'm going to go into the icons on the far left and I'm going to type in glitter. And you'll get some sparkles here. You can kind of pick whatever sparkles you like. I'm gonna use this one. It's like the 6th one there. I'm just gonna click it once and just drag it over there. I'm gonna make it a little smaller. And just kind of put it on top of that knee, right? And I'm gonna change the color to white. And I kind of like that sparkle, so I'm gonna add in another one. I'm going to select that icon and I'm just gonna duplicate it. Did you guys find your icon and place it okay? Adrian, I know you're kind of multitasking, sorry. If you need a hand, just let me know and we'll backtrack.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Where are you at so far?
Trying to figure out how to put the sparkles on there.
Sparkles. Okay,
It's
so
in icons.
it's in icons on the left, yeah. And I
Okay.
just typed in glitter in the search box, and I choose the sixth option there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And so I was just watching myself for a second there. I duplicated the glitter to create another one.
Yeah.
And I just want that one to be a different color. So I'm going to select it, and I'm just going to make it yellow. And it is kind of in the way of that E there, so I just moved it down a little bit. And so it doesn't look so stamped on. You can also click on your icon and just kind of rotate it to give it just a little bit of a difference there. And it's blocking again, so I'm just going to move it up a little bit. Okay, so say you don't like the colors of an image, right? This makes the unicorn look, you know, pretty heroic and everything, but it's just not quite as colorful as I would like it to be. So I'm going to select that image, and I'm going to go to filters. And wow, it's now a vampire unicorn. That's what popped up automatically. This is the duotone filter. It basically mixes together two colors. And I really like this for the unicorn image. So I'm going to choose something down here in the presets. I'm going to stick with the kind of the blue, green, pink thing I got going on there, which is pretty great. There's other options in here. You can do matte, you can do colorize, but I really like that duotone. If you scroll down a little more, you'll see enhancements, and you can increase the contrast, you can decrease the contrast, brightness, etc. Just to whatever looks good to you. So pretty awesome stuff. If you have an image that's a little blurry around the edges, you can also increase the sharpen, and it'll bring those those edges out a little bit. Okay, so now that we've got that set, I don't have to. I think this looks like a great graphic already. I'm just going to show you guys what you can use for design assets. Okay, so let's go over to the left, click in design assets, and I want to give this unicorn like a bow or something. I don't know if this one has any bows. Let's see. It does. It has a bow. So I'm going to click in the bow. And I'm just going to attach it to the unicorn there. It's on the side. I wanted to use that butterfly, but it was a premium. So we're just sticking with the free stuff right now. You can throw on whatever accessory you want on your unicorn. And let's see. So I want to create a divider of this design asset, right? So we're going to try something new. We're going to use something, a design asset, to create a divider for us. So go into design assets and scroll down to the bottom, and you're going to see, I'm sorry, not the bottom, illustrations. It's about halfway down. And then scroll down to the bottom of that, and you'll see travel and adventure. Do you guys see that? Yeah. Okay, so click in more. And we're going to add in this bus there under transportation towards the bottom. It's in the middle there. Do you guys see that? That bus. Okay, so we're going to add that in, and we're going to rotate it to where it is vertical. Okay, and I'm going to increase the size. All right, it's still selected, but who wants to see a bus like that, right? It doesn't look good. So we're going to crop it. Go ahead and hit crop shape once it's selected. And in order to make this not look like a bus, we got to get rid of two things, those wheels and those windows. as much as you can. Okay, and now we have somewhat of a divider here. Did that work for you guys? Yeah, okay, but we're not done yet. We're gonna go in, we're gonna change the color of this image to make it kind of match up with what we got going on. So we're gonna go into filters with the image selected, the bus, and we're gonna do that duotone thing again, except I'm gonna change the color to something different. And it looks okay, but it's not quite to where I want it to be. If we select that image again and go down to the bottom, underneath enhancements, you'll see blur. You guys see that? Check that and increase the blur until it becomes a gradient. And now we have created a border for our image, or a divider for our image using a bus. So pretty fun little thing that you can do there. This is the image. I really like how it looks. To download it, now that I'm done, just go up to the top right, hit download. And I like to work with PNG because I do a lot of like no background stuff. You can't remove the background of this image because there's just way too much going on in the background. So when you hit start download, it will not give you the option to remove the background. But say I deleted just all this stuff. I start from a blank slate, right? So let me delete it. Delete cell, and I'm gonna delete that image. And I'm just gonna add in a random thing here. Oh, of course it was premium. Okay, gonna add in the taxi there. It's taking a little bit. It's not liking that taxi. Okay, let me just try dropping in an icon real quick. There we go. Okay, so say I want to use this icon on a different type of graphic. Oh, now the taxi shows up. Typical. Gonna use this graphic in a different, or this icon in a different graphic. I can just download it with PNG selected, hit start download, and it gives you the option to choose solid color background, which would keep that pink, or to just select the transparent. And that would totally remove the background, and you could just put this on anything that you wanted to. So I'm sure you guys are familiar with PNG backgrounds, transparent backgrounds, that kind of thing. So yeah, that was the tutorial, the webinar. Thank you guys for coming. This would not be complete without some type of call to action, right? So if you guys did download this, if you guys go on LinkedIn or wherever and just tag Brunson Creative Media in a post, if you feel so inclined to post this. I know this isn't like LinkedIn material here. Maybe next time we'll do something that's a little more professional. But yeah, just talk about what you guys learned. Do you guys have any questions before we close out?
No, that was awesome. I'm glad that, let me put my microphone down. Glad that I was able to kind of figure this out. It was like my first time ever messing with it. That's pretty cool.
Great. Yeah, I'm glad you got something out of it. I know it moved kind of quick here, but it really doesn't take long to make a nice graphic with this.
Absolutely. Even the free stuff, right? There's so much you can do.
Yeah. And when
Yeah.
you use the free